but it'll be all right. Hello and welcome to the broadcast. I am Cordelia Gafar, and I'm here today with Eva Eriseni. I'm so sorry I mispronounced your name. That matters to me because, like, everyone, But anyway, she's my dear sister, and I want to tell you all the beautiful and amazing things that she's up to in the world. And then I'll also tell you what collectively we've decided to be up to in the world. So she's the founder and director of Transcentral PTY Ltd, a company specializing in language services and coaching programs. So she's basically a translator. She does voiceovers and everything in many different languages. She also, because that wasn't enough, she's also the co-founder and executive director of Femme, which is an NPO which aims to empower and inspire the girl child and teenage girls, young women, and advocating for their rights. Most of the women in that program are teen moms. And she has published a book. The name of the book is New Moi, New Life, 5 Ways to Build a New You and Live an Extraordinary Life. Now, this is a motivational book that was born out of her own spiritual awakening and encourages others to live a more fulfilling life. And she also recently was honored as a Global Goodwill Ambassador. And I can get into all the other things that she does, but because, those are the highlights, I just want to welcome you today. And we're going to spend the next hour really getting to know her well and her purpose. So welcome, Eva.
Thank you, Cordelia, my dear sister. Thank you so much, and thank you for the warm welcoming. It's an honor and a blessing for me to be here today with you and to spend 1 hour of your time, your precious time, because I know all the work that you do, and I just love the work that you do. I am a fan, really, and I think that you are a blessing from God to everyone.
Thank you. So I want to begin by, let's talk about Femme, and tell us what you've been doing the past 30 days.
Oh, thank you. So basically, we've been running a 30-day mindset challenge for teenage mothers, and it's been a complete success. For 30 days, coaches from different parts of the world, from South Africa, from the UK, from the USA, with you, part of all the coaches, from Switzerland, and I hope I didn't forget another country. So we were a lot of coaches all together. We decided to coach and mentor a group of teenage mothers. And we focused on helping them, develop the right mindset, because it is very important for a person, any individual, to have that positive mindset, despite adversity, despite whatever you might be going through. And I just thought that it would be a great challenge for them, because I know that everything starts from within. So with the right mindset, I think you are set to succeed, because then you will never see failure the same way someone with a fixed mindset might see it. So I think it's a first step, and I also think that we need more of it, because a lot of young girls are lost and they don't know who to go to, who to talk to, where to start. And as you noticed, as one of the coaches, they were beginners, like level 1, or level 0 in terms of personal development. They didn't even know. For some didn't even know what is a mindset, like a positive mindset, or how to make a difference between positive thought and negative thought, all those things. So it was amazing. And I think you will agree with me to see them grow during those 30 days and blossom and learn about themselves and develop self-love and open up, about what happened to them. And I felt so blessed to be part of this and to be the one initiating that challenge. And at the end of it, something even more magnificent happened. And we decided to see, who went through the 30 days, because you see, the thing is, life happens, unfortunately, and not all of them managed to do the 30 days, the 30-day challenge, but 4 of them managed to be very resilient and go through the full challenge. And that's when I thought, you know what? There is a reason why God allowed this to happen, and they've been through a lot, and we have to do something amazing, because She Phoenix is there to make an impact, not just to talk. We talk and talk and talk. I think it is time for action, and action means changing someone's life, but like in a way where we will break the cycle of poverty, in a way where we are truly empowering them, in a way where we are teaching them to fish rather than giving them the fish. And I thought, based on my personal experience, that the best thing to give them an education. And that's when I came up with the idea of giving them bursaries, because most of them dropped out from school. So most of them didn't write their matric. And we all know that today you can't go anywhere without qualifications. And I know what I'm talking about, because education gives you opportunities, gives you possibilities. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will be successful, but it will depend on how you will use the opportunities at your hand, to make to find a way in life. You see, so that's when I announced that, those 4 girls would benefit and get a bursary. And I feel grateful. I feel blessed to have you as one of the sponsors. And I just want the whole world to know that we are so happy and grateful to you. And I can't, I don't think there are words that can express the way I'm feeling now for the girl that you are sponsoring. It's amazing, because I think that, changing one person can change the world. And someone told me that one day, because I remember I used to think, but there's so much going on in the world. How can, for example, my small contribution can make a difference? And someone told me, Eva, you know what? Helping one person can make a big difference in the world, because look at Obama, President Obama. Isn't he one person?
Yeah.
Look at Oprah Winfrey. Isn't she one person? Look at Michelle Obama. And there are so many other people who are making a huge difference, and they are one person. So you never know who that person that you're helping will become and what that person will do. So I believe that by helping one girl at a time, helping one teenage mother at a time, helping one young woman at a time, we are making a big difference. So you being a sponsor for one of the girls is amazing. You are changing the world. And I am so happy, because I am also sponsoring one of the girls. And at the moment, we are also going to help the other 2 with bursaries as well. So I think we are on the right track, and we are there to change lives and to make a real tremendous impact on their lives, one life at a time.
Indeed. As I'm listening to you, there's like so many things that I'm hearing. First of all, you it wasn't enough for you. You started this organization 2 years ago, and you're working there, in Pretoria, and then you decided we're here in lockdown during COVID. The girls, I know they're calling you all the time, and you wanted to
Yes.
do something to help them get out of their head, right? And grow themselves at the same time. And so you just are so creative on the fly, right? You came up with this, but well organized. I was like, mashallah, look at you. Okay. Because I'm thinking, she asked me to coach. She's like, okay, well, can you coach? I'm going to have some coaches, we're going to split up 30 days. And I'm like, okay. So, and I'm thinking I have to come up with my own curriculum. No, it was done. She's like, okay, for your days, this is what you're going to do. You're going to coach on this. And I was like, okay. So, she is all about walking her talk, and she's in the trenches with the girls. She keeps their information very private, right? Because they're still minors. So even we as coaches didn't really know, except for what the girls chose to share in the group chat with us. But, very, I mean, I don't even know, like, you got me choked up. There's so many things that come to my heart when I think about the way that you conducted the 30 days. Um, just really holding their hands, you can almost feeling like, even though we have social distancing and everybody's in their own house, you can feel like you're, touching them and giving them big hugs and always praying for everyone. So just beautiful heart. And also, I like what you said about, you can give, the women fish, but it's better to teach them to fish and give them tools so that whatever they want to build, and these girls, they have really big dreams and they're already working on them, but they need more tools in the form of education.
Yes.
So at the end, because right in the beginning, I think I was the coach right after you, so you hadn't really decided what
Yes.
the grand prize would
The
be.
price. Yes,
Right.
yes. I remember when we discussed that, I was not sure. And I remember we also mentioned, you mentioned actually, but how are you going to choose like who will be
Yeah,
the
I
winner?
was like,
Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I think God did this for us. And I also believe that, we are not all at the same level in our spiritual development, or in our personal development. We have to move at a certain pace, and I think it reflected in the 30-day challenge. The girls are not all at the same pace, and they have not suffered the same thing, and they have not gone through the same experience, although they all have in common the fact that they are teenage mothers. But they all have, a certain, they all went through something different, you see. And at the end of the day, it all depends on many factors. But I would say, if you manage not to be battered by what happened to you, if you manage to free yourself at a certain level, of the shackles of your past, then it will allow you to accept what is coming your way. And I think that's what happened with the four winners who they saw the opportunity. You remember the comments. There were times I was
yeah,
crying because
yeah,
they were grabbing that challenge, and the answers were so deep and profound, and you feel like, oh wow, it's like I'm in her head, the way she was
yeah,
describing and everything. And the best is when they were going through their dreams, and
yeah,
you can almost see, picture it, it's I've got goosebumps now because I remember a certain, and I was like, wow, one was talking about having a Porsche husband and the children. You could smell the like the food coming from the kitchen and everything. I felt like this, we are doing something so beautiful because everything starts in the mind. So that's why I'm thinking we need more of this. Our girls are not equipped. You can send a girl to school. If she doesn't know why she's going to school, and I know know what I'm talking about, because you know, most girls are very naive, and I know because I was naive as well, and they don't realize, you know, how difficult it can be to go to school, how difficult it can be to self-love, how difficult it can be to say, this is me, and for me, this is wrong. You know, I'm not ready for this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to fit in. Why would I have to fit in when I am me? You
Yes.
know, who am I? You know, and you know, I think that all of this comes from here. We need more mentors, more coaches who are there for you to tell you, wait a minute, do you know that you're beautiful? Really? Nobody told you that? Cordelia, you are beautiful. You are beautiful inside and outside. When I look at you, I see a gift from God. You don't need anybody to tell you that. Actually, you don't even need me to tell you that. You have to know it. You have to feel it because it is within you. So, what does it mean for you when we say that God is within you? It's amazing. It says that you've got a lot of talent. It says that you are an extraordinary being. It says that you've got the power to create something. You have the power to develop, to make your dreams come true. You have the power to attract the right people. And when life happens and some bad people come to you, you can still have a voice and the power to go over this and to overcome your obstacles, because life happens. That's something we can't change, you see. And we need, of course, to be equipped for that. And unfortunately, parents are not always equipped. I mean, I'm a parent, and there are times when I feel like, oh, okay, how do I have that talk with her? Or how do I stop this? Or, you know, you even feel like, no, can I talk about sex with my daughter? Or can I do this? But you see, it's because also of the way we have been programmed ourselves. Like our parents have programmed us, community has programmed us, society has programmed us. So I think we need to change a lot of things, and we need more of those initiatives. And we've seen, you and I and all the other coaches, you know, who were part of that beautiful journey. We've seen the benefit of helping a young girl work on her mindset. It's not something that happens overnight, of course. And I don't think that the 30 days were enough for them to develop, you know, that right positive mindset. It's just a beginning. But, and now I'm saying something my husband told me. You need to plant a seed. You see, and I see the 30-day challenge that we did as a way to plant the seed. Now it's up to them, with our help, to keep on working on themselves and on nurturing that seed until it grows and it blossoms and it becomes a tree, a beautiful tree with green leaves. And I think that we need to do that more often, and that's why now there is an upcoming 30-day challenge
And that's what I was
that
gonna
will.
say, you know, that's the beautiful part about you because, you know, I guess with all things combined, for me, like the defining moment during the last 30 days was when one of the girls, do you remember? I'm not going to use any of their names because they're minors, but she said, you know, I always thought that it was money that would solve
Yes,
my problems, but
yes,
just in the few things that we've been doing, I see once I free my mind, you know?
yes, I remember. That was
Yeah.
powerful. And you see the way she said it, so it was so candid, so true. You see, she felt like, okay, she can open up. It's like, also, do you remember the one who said, to be honest with you, I went through the challenge and I didn't feel like I could do it. And I realized at the end of the day that I am lazy. You know, like I was like, oh, someone might say, no, but did you say you are lazy? But you know, it takes personality
Yeah.
to acknowledge that, okay, so there's something that's not working properly with me. Why didn't I do the challenge? And then to realize at the end of the day that, oh, actually I was lazy. You know, we all get those days where we are lazy. But you see, if it becomes a part of you and you let it become you, then you are missing out. So you need to consciously work against that, and you need to train your brain. And that was also part of the 30-day challenge, that the brain is a muscle. It needs a workout as well. And I think her saying that is proof that we did a good job, because she realized that, wait a minute, I need to train my brain.
But this is not the kind of workout we get at school, you know? So this, I feel like the other thing that we learned,
No,
and why I'm happy you've decided to have 30-day challenges. I guess we're taking 2 or 3 weeks break in between. But you know, to with different themes throughout the year, I think that that's really important because it's a super important part of personal development and self-awareness, that this is like the in between school and, you know, having parenting, right? So you live with your parents and your parents
yes,
parent
yeah,
you, you go to school and you get your academic, you know, tools, but then how do you develop as a person? Like what what you're doing helps them to filter out and understand how to cope with life. And that is, I believe that's missing, not just with the girls that we're working with, but just, you know, if we look at the educational system as a whole, it's missing. It's really
it is.
something that we need. So I want to bring um, you know, I want to bring your story into it a little bit. We don't have to go into depth, but I just want to mention
Mhm.
like why your heart is even for these girls and where your whole um, raison d'être came from. So if you will share with us a little bit of your story.
Of course I will. Okay, so it's always difficult to start. I will just, okay, I'm just being me, and I will just explain as briefly as I can. And, you know, well, I was a teen mom. I had my child when I was 14, and I was not raped or violated or anything. My sin was that I was naive. I fell in love with one of the popular guys from school, and I was coming from a broken family because my parents had split up. And I was young when they got separated. I think I was 11 or so, and my mom left the relationship without anything. And we went from having everything, like being, you know, settled and having traveling all around the world. At age 11, I had been to Canada. I had been to New York. I had been to France, where I lived for almost 10 years. We had an apartment there. I had been to some Arabic countries as well. I can't remember because I was very young. So I had been in many countries already. And my mom used to buy, you know, like those brands, you know, like Versace, Kenzo and stuff. My brother and I were really, you know, like kids from rich families, if you want. And we lived like in a castle in Gabon, because I'm from Gabon originally, but I live in South Africa. Yeah, it's also a long story. How do I go from Gabon to South Africa? But that's another story for another day, I guess. And you see, coming from that broken family and leaving France to go back to Gabon was a big change for me. And I was trying to find something where, you know, I would get away from the reality. And the reality was a broken family, was poverty. So that's why I mentioned that we were very wealthy, and we went from top to bottom. And there were days when we didn't have food at home at all. We would be happy if we would have like rice, white rice that I would cook with, you know, spices to make it a little bit good, you know, tasty.
Yeah.
And there were days when, to go to school from my place, I had to ask my friends at school to go from school to home. I had to ask them for money, you know. And I remember vividly one guy in school that said, "Oh, but Eva, she's a beggar. She's always begging for money for transport." Yes. And I think I was 12 or 13 when it happened. And for me to tell you that now I'm 39, imagine it means that it was etched in my memory, you see.
Mm.
So just to show you the extent of the poverty we were in. And so in high school, I was told I was beautiful because, believe it or not, I thought I was not. I was suffering from a lack of self-esteem. Because we didn't have money anymore, so I was not wearing great clothes. I was wearing my mom's clothes, even her bra and everything, you see. So I looked at myself like I was a clown or I was a beggar. So I had no self-esteem at all. And when I was told at school that I was beautiful, I felt, oh, wait a minute, maybe there's something
Yeah.
there. And then I tried to fit in. Believe me, there's a clash of culture because I came from France, and I was there, like since I was a baby, and we would go to Gabon from time to time. So I felt like if I was French, to be honest with you. So I grew up with their culture, their food, their shows, their TV, the way they are, and it's really something different. Well, it was different for me. So it was becoming me. It was part of me, of who I was. So when we left France to go to go back to Gabon for good, it was a shock because I already had all my plans that I was going to go to high school. I even chose the high school where I was going to. I told my friends that this is where I'm going. It was in Paris and everything, and suddenly everything changed. From just like Monday afternoon, I was in France, and then the next day I was in Gabon, and my life changed, and I left all my toys and everything, in Gabon, in France. And yeah, just to cut a long story short, I I felt like I was lost. So to come back to high school, I thought my only way to fit in Gabon in high school was to do what the other girls were doing. So they all had boyfriends, they all were like kissing and doing other stuff. And when that popular boy came to me, and he was the one of the popular boys, you see, like everyone wants to be with him, and you feel like you are someone, you are somebody when you're the chosen one. That's how you feel. And then suddenly the whole high school knows you, and you feel like a pop star or something. And I felt like I found something, and I was looking for something, that I wanted to get away from at home, and that I couldn't find at home. And when I was with him, I felt like I was somebody. And we had the same interest, and I don't know if we can call it coincidence or something, but he also went to France. We had the same interests, so you can imagine how I felt. And one day, because for a few months we were just being boyfriend girlfriend, but nothing happening. I was just so happy to be with his girlfriend, and labeled his girlfriend. And one day one of his friends came and he asked us the question, did you guys do it? And I was like, we looked at each other and we're like, what are you talking about? And then he said, come on, you know what I'm talking about, did you guys do it? And then we looked at each other and we said, no, we didn't. And then that day, something changed. And to cut a long story short, we did it. And fast forward, I fell pregnant. And I didn't know I was pregnant until like maybe I was 4 or 5 months. And I was scared to death, as you can imagine, because
Yeah.
of the poverty we were living in. And I was scared of my mom, her reaction, what people would say, and I thought, but if my mom is struggling with my brother and how will she cope with a baby, and what will become of me and the baby? And so many things.
But,
It's
I
just
wanna
like,
just freeze frame there for a minute because, I feel like even today, I know that was like a really long time ago, but it's not changed for a lot of girls. That peer pressure is a real thing. And,
That's true.
and just to be fair, adults practice escapism in quite the same way, you
It's
know?
true.
So like what you did, of course, now isn't like it's not really strange. It's common human behavior when you don't know your worth and when you have low self-esteem. And
Exactly.
so this story that you came from, I mean, I can feel that in your heart when you're dealing with the girls. And I think maybe because this was the next question I was going to ask. I was like, so how did you come up with the self-esteem for the next 30 days? Now I get it. So
Now you know.
yeah.
Yes. Now you know exactly, yes, because I realized based on my own experience and based on the work I've been doing with many girls that self-esteem is at the heart of many of the things that happen to them. And it's not just with young girls, even young women suffer from self-esteem. And that low self-esteem comes from a lot of things. And we can't pinpoint what caused it, but the thing is something got broken. And the moment a young girl or a young woman or a woman, a grown woman, suffers from low self-esteem, then they are at risk. They are at risk, and then they become vulnerable because they need people to tell them that they are beautiful. They need people to tell them that they love them while they don't even love themselves. And they need to find that love and that self-esteem from some. So it's not even self-esteem anymore
Right.
because it comes from others. You
They're
see,
looking
and
for
that
the outside validation.
exactly, yes, and that is dangerous because then you become subconsciously you are looking for something, and you don't even realize it until something happens. And I just believe that if I had more self-esteem, I might have had the courage to say no. Like, I like the way things are now, and if you really like me, then you will wait. You see, that's how I want that 14-year-old to react, to know that, wait a minute, do you even deserve it? I mean,
But at the same time, it's like the journey. So like of course looking back, you don't regret because you needed that journey to be the champion you are for the girls today. So right in the middle here,
yeah.
we've got a couple of questions collecting. So let me I'm going to put them on the screen. So Faye, hello, salam alaikum. She's in Philippines. She's wondering if you have just
Hello, hello.
one message to teenagers right now, what would it be coming from your experience?
Oh, that's a beautiful question. I would say, don't second doubt yourself. Don't think that you don't deserve to love yourself. Don't get that love from other people because you are a child of God, because you are loved from the moment you come to this world. God loved you and He has a plan for you. And you don't need to do something to prove that you deserve to be part of the group. No. And you have the right to say no. And you have the right to live your life on your own terms, not based on peer pressure. You see, I think it is very important for a teenager to understand that self-love, and I see it even with my daughters, because now I've got, in total, I have 3 daughters, and it's beautiful to see them grow. And I think, Cordelia, you would probably also have
Yeah.
felt it, because of the environment they find themselves in, the peer pressure, the bullying. It's very, very easy for your child to start second doubting herself and asking herself the wrong question, and thinking that she is the odd one out when she's not, because of what the other kids are saying. So it is very important for teenagers to nurture self-love. And I think it starts at home. It starts at home. Like the parents must say all the right things. You are beautiful. I remember with my second one, we told her so many times that she was beautiful. One day, we saw her in the bathroom. She was looking at the mirror and she was like, "Oh, you are so pretty." And with my husband, we felt, oh, we did a good job. Maybe too much because now she's saying it to herself, you see. But I think it is something beautiful because you need to nurture that, and it starts at a young age, you see. And then those words must be part of them, like love, beautiful, strong, clever. It's all part of the mindset. And I believe that as parents, we don't always, or educators, we don't always think of the mindset. But it is very important to be careful what you say. For example, don't say, you are bad at math. No. You can say something else like, oh, you're very good at literature. You know what? Maths, oh, don't worry. You just need to look at this differently, and because we don't have the same way of learning, we all
Yeah.
learn differently. So it is difficult for a parent. And it's having my other two kids, I realized that wow, 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 it's a job. Because
It's
you have to
yeah.
be conscious every time of what you say, what comes out of your mouth, because it will be part of that child mindset. So I would also encourage teenagers, yeah, like to be in groups where they get to experience love, because at school it's difficult. School can be very difficult. So but it is good if you can have a different group outside school where for a fact that this group of kids are, for example, working on a challenge. Like we do the 30-day challenge, and the challenge is meant to help them develop personal development. I think personal development has to become something that is part of what they are doing. Okay, I'm talking a lot, so don't know
No,
if
I
I
mean,
answered the question.
it's yeah, you 100% answers the question. I absolutely agree. And yeah, I see the same thing with my four daughters, and that's what I was saying before. So, having another space for girls and for kids to go is wonderful. So, the other side of that, so Mudu is in Gambia, and what he does is he actually works with
Hello, Modu.
you know him. Maybe you don't know him, but he works with youth and he motivates them, and he's gotten a lot of awards.
Fantastic.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so he has a question: how do you stay grounded during difficult situations, even if you're a motivator?
So is that question
For
oriented to
you,
me?
yes.
For me? Oh, okay, okay. Well, it is difficult. I will not lie to you. It is very difficult. There are days where, I am down, and most of the days I'm up. But when it happens, what helps me is what I learned from Les Brown, having OQP, only quality people.
Mm,
And one of those quality people is my husband. It's very important you know who you surround yourself with. Lots of people are saying that and it becomes like a song and think people are like, yeah, 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 yeah. But actually, it is crucial because when it happens that you are down, those people will be there for you to help you get yourself up again. And that's what happens with my husband. And I've got other friends as well. And I've got sisters like Cordelia, Mirai Tulekima, and many other women as well, Zindle Mnyaka and Lilian.
Lillian,
I just to talk about them as well because you need a very good circle of people. I have my sister Claudia Anna and maybe a lot of other people, and I can count on them, and that is my secret. I've got quality people surrounding me, and when I feel like someone is toxic, I cut you out of my life. Like I will just say, okay, no, sorry. Yes, but no, I refuse. So I think as a motivator, you need to know what's good for you. You need to shield yourself. And shielding yourself means having the right people around you, see it as your apostle.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that we are, but like having, a good group around you, a good surrounding, I think it is key. And the other thing is also keep on nurturing your mind. I think that's something, it's a lifetime process. We are human beings, and unfortunately there will be up and down. Life happens. One day you feel great, another day you feel, like it's the end of the world. But you have to keep on working on this mind. I think that's where the key is, and read the right stuff and listen to the right things and talk to the right people. I think that's what I can say.
I agree. I mean, I only would add to that, uh, what you're describing is protecting your heart essentially. Because when we protect our heart, it's easier for our brain to work well. So, this last portion that we're here together, I want to dive more into, okay, so what happens at the end of these 30-day challenges as we select winners? And so now it's a situation where we have decided on faith that we are going to offer the bursary, right? But to
Right.
tell the truth, you didn't even know who was going to fund those. And the same
Yes, at
time
first,
that
yes.
you were praying, um, okay, God, I'm just going to make this leap and, offer this to these girls, and I'm leaving it to you. I contacted you the same time. I said, you know what? I'm going to create a program
Exactly.
so that I can sustainably fund you,
Exactly.
because I gave you a little bit of money. I feel it was a little bit of money, but apparently in Rand, it's a lot of money. Um, so,
It makes a huge difference. There's no, I think there's no little amount, because every little amount helps. It can buy sugar, it can buy, because you see, the other thing, and maybe that I didn't explain, is because of what went on with the lockdown, the girls were suffering. They were really suffering from, there were times when they didn't have money, they didn't have food. And now that you know a little bit my story, it brought me back to when I didn't have anything, and then I just could not imagine one of them not having something to eat. So that's when I decided to start doing campaigns to raise funds, and I was gathering the funds and giving out the funds. So I would send them e-wallets so that they would collect the money. And it was not a lot, but because I think it was like maybe $15 per girl every month during the lockdown. We managed to give them e-wallets of $15 each, so that they can at least buy sugar, the basic food. So what you did helped a lot, and I thank you very much, because there's that much that you can do. Like, this is my dream, this is my passion. So as the founder of She Phoenix, because it started with my dream to help those girls, I take it personally to donate from my own pocket as well every month. This is my life purpose. But for you to come on board and say, Eva, I will do this for you as well, with you as well, it takes a lot of love. So I really thank you for joining me, for joining us, because without all of you, this wouldn't be possible. Without God, this wouldn't be possible. So yes. And
and
now, when you were talking about the product, please tell us more about the Replenish program.
well, I mean, what we're talking about, like this whole conversation is really about emotional wellness. And, when I was creating Replenish Me over this past year, what I saw was women who had grown up without all the components that we've discussed, right? They don't release the ability to do what's accepted and expected, right? Because you fell in the trap of peer pressure. So, in Replenish Me, that's the first step, releasing what's expected and accepted, and then
Mhm.
figuring out what are your own values and restructuring your habits around those values. Not what your family values are, not what your church's values are, but what your own values are, right? that will get you to
Mhm.
stand up for yourself. And then refreshing who are your OQP, right? Like who
Right.
gets the pleasure of your company. And
Exactly.
and then the last part is you rebirth and full self-trust. So those are
Mhm.
the 4 steps of Replenish Me. And in working with women, I came across some women that were like, "Oh, Cordelia, this is an amazing program." They would attend some of my free webinars and things like that, but they could not invest. So I was trying to
Mhm.
figure out a sustainable way to offer something for those women where they can get coaching. And at the same time, I thought, well, how exciting for these women to be filled up, right? And know that 20% of their monthly membership fee is
Memberships.
going to support
Yeah.
these girls. So that's what the Replenish Me membership
Mhm.
is. And, I'll put the link in the comments, but the whole purpose, like, just to be perfectly clear, is really about supporting She Phoenix, Femme Phoenix. And, um, on the other hand, of course, supporting women who also maybe can't afford coaching, but they will have access to it in community. So with, this break between the 30-day challenges, I decided, let me launch this program. And we
And it's
decided this,
amazing.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's amazing. I love the program. And I think that what you're charging for it is nothing compared to all the benefits that each member will have, because sorry, now I can't think of the word.
Wellness.
Wellness is very important. Yes, it's very important. And too often we think that, oh no, I can deal with it myself. I'm not going to spend money on that. But you don't realize the impact that not having the right mindset has on your life until you live a life that is completely outside what you wanted of life. You see, it's like you feel like you are off track. You're not where you wanted to be, and you start asking yourself the question. And sometimes it is too late. I would just ask one question. Don't we all buy clothes? And how much do they cost? Especially if you buy, hello Mirai, especially if you buy clothes from expensive brands. Don't we all buy pizzas and like McDonald's
Right,
and don't get me wrong, I like having that from time to time, but not all the time, okay? But
right.
if you think about all those small expenses that you do, they will cost you more than $100, for example.
Mhm.
Now, think about using that money to invest on your emotional wellness. Believe me, it will be multiplied by 20 or 100, because you will become so self-motivated, so self-reliant, so self-loved, so you will feel like you can achieve anything in life. You will feel like life is bursting out of you. You will feel so excited that you will get out there. You will start having, like now I was talking to Cordelia a few days ago. I said, Cordelia, I've got so many ideas. It's like I don't know what's happening. It's like I've touched something, and suddenly, all those brilliant ideas are coming through me. And now I'm doing so many things. I'm writing my second book now. I'm running all the challenges. I'm doing the curriculum for the challenges. I'm talking to many women. I am also an entrepreneur running my own business. I've got my children. Where is this coming from? I think it's when you have managed to find yourself. But it takes a conscious effort. Sometimes it takes people, to help you, to to take you by the hand and say, it's okay, we are in this together, you will do it. And I wish I had a Cordelia or an Eva Arisani de grown up to be there for me when I was, and who would say, come, We offer you the 30-day challenge. Really? For free?
Yeah.
And on top of that, we give you like $15 per month. What? Just like that. I don't have to sell something or do anything or, sell my body or anything. No. And on top of that, you send me a message at 9 in the evening, I answer. You need someone to talk to, I'm there for you. How many people do that?
They don't.
I think that it is
There's
time
just so
for
many
all of us.
windbags. I'm just gonna
I'm
say it.
telling you, I'm telling you, it is time that we understand it is important to invest in ourselves. And by doing that, we invest in our families as well. Because when we are well, our families are also well. When we are well, our business will be well as well because you will manage to do the right thing. You will know what to do. You will be on top of things. And when you're not, when you fall, you will know what to do. You will know who to talk to. And that's part of the investment. So for me, what you are offering is it's a gift. It's a gift that people should take. And the most beautiful thing not only you offer a gift because you are a blessing, Cordelia. So you offer your gift to people. You are healing at a cellular level, but you also give the opportunity for each member to touch and change the life of a young girl, a young woman. How many times or where do you get that? Like you will be paying something knowing that you are empowering someone somewhere in the world. How beautiful is it? How will you, when you make that payment, you won't feel that pinch, when you have to pay for your credit card or something like that. No, you will feel like, wow, that's so releasing because I am investing in myself and I am investing in someone else's life. I am changing lives. And this is what She Phoenix Femme Phoenix is about. And we are about making an impact. We are through with talking. We are through with theories. We are through with narratives that say, yes, there's poverty and stuff. And yes, there is, but it is time to take action. And it starts with empowering one girl at a time. It starts with thinking about others because someone, and that someone is Claudia Anna. Claudia, I don't know if you are watching, my sister, but I learned a lot from you as well. She said, when God blesses you, He doesn't just bless you for yourself.
Nope.
He blesses you because He wants you to be a blessing to others. And this is really important because then what is given to you is not just for you. It is also time for you to show God that you love Him. And loving Him means giving to others, loving your neighbor. And it starts there. And I am sorry to tell you that, good people, but if you are watching us, if you are listening to this, it means that you were meant to be here now at this time. And it also means that you are called to take action. And if you don't do it, and I'm not blackmailing or saying anything, I just know how life works. I've learned my lesson. When it is time for you to learn something, you know it. But the problem is too often people are not aware of the circumstances, the situation, or the people that are around them. And they miss an opportunity to grow. They miss an opportunity to be blessed. You see? So this, Cordelia, and I'm not saying that because you are sponsoring She Phoenix Femme Phoenix or because you are sponsoring one of the girls. I'm saying that genuinely because I've learned a lot from life. We have a purpose. We have to learn because if we don't learn from every experience we go through, you will not get out of that experience. It will come back to haunt you until you learn the lesson. And then you ask yourself, why am I going through this over and over and over again? It's because you haven't learned the lesson. It's because you have not passed the test of life. You haven't passed the rite of passage. So then you have to go through it again. Sometimes in a different way, but it will come up, show up again and again until you learn your lesson. And I learned my lesson. God told me, girl, if I raise you up, it's not for you to be an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur only. You have to be there for my people, my girls. You have to be there for them because you are blessed. And now you must bless them as well. And by blessing them, I will bless you more. And I can tell you, it works. Cordelia, I think you felt it as well. There's no better feeling than knowing that you made a difference and impact, not just through words, but through action to someone. It's something nobody can give you.
Yeah. You see, everyone, this is the Eva I wanted you to meet. She's such a beautiful soul. And she's a believing woman, and that's what it looks like. And I also think it's remarkable. She and I have really deep faith, although she's Christian and I'm Muslim. It's not about the path, right? It's just about the purpose. And
Yes.
we are just doing what, we're just vessels, right? That's what we've been talking like
Exactly.
every morning.
I know. Incredible things are happening, and I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. Okay, it's like a shower of blessings, and it's like
Yeah.
everyone wants to be part of the 30-day challenge now, and and I'm learning and I'm discovering, and like the next 30-day challenge of self-esteem, we already have, I think, maybe 6 or 7 coaches from different parts of the world, all
Yeah.
of them amazing women, extraordinary women, and and you are also one of them. I'm
Yes, I'm
also
doing
one
it
of
again.
them. Hey, you see, she's coming for more. And yeah, so it's amazing. And there are lots of people who are sending me messages asking for their daughters to be part of it. It's incredible. And it makes you feel so good, because now we know that we are changing lives. And now working on the bursaries, wow, wow, wow. I mean, we are changing someone's life. And this is amazing. When I sleep at night, I feel so happy, because
Yeah.
we are changing lives. And and it's just the
Well,
start. So people, please help us. Start calm and join the movement. Can't you feel the excitement, the passion, the love? It's
100%. It is like when we sleep, though, right? Because to be honest, you waking up before dawn praying, and like I'm waking up early and praying and thinking and working and all the things, but still it's about the purpose. It's about the girls. So I can't believe like our hour is almost done, but as you were
I
talking,
know. I
I was
know.
posting some of the comments we got. So just thank you, Faye and Mireille and Modu, who have been staying the whole time. And I'm sure there are plenty more of you who are also here, but maybe not commenting, but liking. Um, Please share this far and wide because, like I said, yes, it's great to be in business to make money, but isn't it better to be in business to help the world? And
Yes.
so, the real purpose, I mean, of course, I have like my Replenish Me program, which is like, it has a different pricing, but this is specific. This membership is specific to help She Phoenix, Femme Phoenix, and also to help, maybe women who think that they can't afford coaching, and
Mm.
you can for $100 a month. I'm already doing twice a month. I started doing this in April. So twice a month group coaching sessions. I do the third Saturday of the month. I do a training. This past month was Release Your Past Forever and Be Your Higher Self. That was pretty powerful. And then, of course, we have the 5-day boot camp, which is specific to those habits that I was talking about. so that you take better care of your body at the cellular level, and all that $100 a month, and you'll be working with me
It's a
directly.
given. Yes, it's a
Yeah.
given. I mean, and look at the person you are working with. I mean, Cordelia, come on, guys. Come on. You can't let her go. You have to grab this with both hands and your feet and everything and just go with the flow. Really, this is just beautiful. But if I can just say, because I can see we are running out of time, everything I've learned, can be summarized in one quote that I usually say. I say, we all have a past, but how it influences our present and our future is up to us. And I think that speaks volume. And I just want to repeat so that it sinks in. We all have a past, but how it influences our present and our future is up to us. Look at me. I went from being a teen mom. I tried to commit suicide. I almost died. God raised me up from the dead. I decided to take responsibility. The father of the child denied the pregnancy. We raised that child with nothing, nothing. And today, will you believe that she's doing a master's degree in one of
Wow.
the best university of South Africa? Yes. And she's been given a bursary to go on with after the master's degree. So, do you
Wow.
see that I have purpose? Today, I am married to my husband, and we've been married for 10 years, but we've been together since my child was 5. So, we've been together for years, and we've got 2 other daughters. And I'm a successful entrepreneur as well. And look at me now funding bursaries and running She Phoenix and starting my foundation, with nothing. And now I'm pledging. And now look at me being here in front of you, talking to people around the globe and being raised up. You know what? There is a God, I'm telling you. Because I was ashamed. I was ashamed because people would say, Eva, you shame the family. I was called names. And I thought that I was nothing. Now look at me now, being, wow, a success. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, we all have a past, but how it influences our present and our future is up to us. We can change the narratives. We can change our life. And we can change the world one girl at a time. And I'm there to tell you that I will not stop until I die. Because when I die, I will go to God and I will tell God, I gave them everything. Everything I had. So now give it to me. I mean,
You'll demand your reward. It's like, okay,
heaven.
eternity. Where's the palace for me?
Exactly. Exactly. And also, having a mom, having girls, I feel how other moms are feeling, and I just want all girls to have a shot at having education. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen.
So thank you,
Oh,
Cordelia, for
thank
me.
you,
It's
Eva.
been incredible. Thank you so much. I love you. And I love all the women, the extraordinary women surrounding me. Guys, you know who you are. I can't start naming because if I forget one name, people will be like, Eva, how could you do that to me? You were online, you forgot to mention me. But I just want to say I love you. And also I love my mom because she went through a lot and she managed to help me become, the person I am today because she gave me a chance. And that's something I want to say. Parents, please support your children. Please support your daughters. I know it is a disappointment when your child get pregnant, but not giving them a chance is killing them
Yeah.
and killing yourself at the same time. Please give them a chance. Look at me. If my mom had decided to throw me out of the house, I wouldn't be the person I am today. And today, I am so full of confidence. Look at me. Like, really? Have you seen someone more beautiful than me? I mean, Cordelia, you are beautiful. But I can tell you, I love myself. I love me. I love me. Can you see the connection with myself? And I was not even a percent of that. I was not like that. I was not the Eva I am today. And look out for my book because it's going to be a bestseller. I can tell you that. It's based on my true life story. And believe me, it will be wow, just wow. People will just say, did you read Eva Harrison's second book? Yeah, wow. That's how I want people to, just to remember me. And when I die, I just want people to say, when I die, wow, that woman, she had such an impact on my life. That's how I want to be remembered. Money is not everything.
It's not.
The way people feel is everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Nadia, for being here. Well, that
Hi,
is
Nadia.
you know Nadia. Okay, good. I thought you might. She's in South Africa, I believe. So,
Ah,
oh, you didn't know that. Okay. Um, this has
oh,
been like a more powerful conversation than, I expected, and I'm so happy
yeah,
to
me too. Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I just wanted everyone to know you and know your heart and see your passion. And
Thank you.
yeah, so thank you so much for spending this time with us, your precious time. And because I know it's
Oh,
afternoon for you.
yes,
And
yes, yes.
and thank you everyone around the world who joined us. I guess we've got West Africa, South Africa, Asia represented, and the United States. So
Yes,
amazing.
yes. It's amazing. Thank you, Cordelia, for having me once again. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for your good heart. Thank you for being a sister, for being just a sister. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
helping me making this dream become even more than what I thought it would be, because it's getting crazy. Like, wow, I can't believe this. Sometimes I have to pinch myself. Is it a dream?
Your heart
So
and
thank
your prayers are
you.
being answered, and you're just attracting more. So
Amen.
for those of you who do want to be part of touching the heart and the life of a young girl, go to the link that I posted, which is a bit.ly Replenish Me membership, and you can get started, or you can also reach out to me directly. Thank you for joining us. Please remember that sharing is caring, and have a beautiful day.
Definitely. God bless you all.